Hey everybody, welcome back to City Skylines 2. Even more specifically, Sonder County, and even more specifically, not the town of Oxbow, but the town of Belford. The name is still pending, but unbeknown, last episode I created this town, and it was pretty mediocre, to say the least. The town of Belford is basically just a small little township that I originally created to be sort of living off the farmland. But then I realized that why would I create another new town when I already have one built, and it's the township of Belford? So I decided that I was going to re-demolish the entire town and just start over, as you can see right here. I wanted to replan the entire road network, and this is one of the things that I really loved doing in this episode, was replanning an entire town. It just gives me that sense of nostalgia when I first started the series 5 episodes ago, but you know, it's still nostalgia. Nostalgia comes in many forms, I'd say, and that is just one of them. But anyways, I wanted the town of Belford to be sort of similar to the town of Oxbow. Whether they were created at the same time or the town of Belford got inspiration from Oxbow, either way, it's still, it's whatever. But anyways, yeah, so I created this really long strip of road. Originally, I didn't even know what I was doing here. I just needed to create an intersection that would not lead into the town through a 4-way intersection, because that's kind of how accidents happen. And yeah, this entire episode was me doing a lot of things. I would say that this episode was more fixing instead of actually adding on, besides this part of the episode, which is definitely, I added in, thousands of people. I mean, by the end of the episode, I'm pretty sure I had around 5,000 people living in Sonder County alone, and that number is massive to me. And you know what else is massive? And I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. The views that I got on my last video, 1,000 to be precise. That is the largest number that I've ever gotten on any video that I've ever created here on YouTube in years, and that is really saying something. So I just want to say thank you for the support, and also thank you to my newfound audience. If you have recently subscribed, welcome to the nerdy world of Yap City, where I do nothing but talk, and more talking. I can't stop talking about everything. It's the ADHD brain in me. I just cannot stop. And I guess some people find the charm in it, so hey, welcome. But anyways, I wanted to create a bunch of different intersections for the town of Belford, because I sort of just needed like minimize traffic issues, right? Create a lot of accessibility into the towns, because after all, these are old-style American towns. So I'd expect that at some point, this was originally joined together by a bunch of dirt roads because they planned on building houses somewhere or whatever, but that just never came to fruition as the middle of the town was so prosperous. I know nothing about old-style towns, but all that I do know is that they have so many connections, lots of ways to get into town. And I really want to encapsulate that, especially in American towns. There are a million ways. You know the saying, all roads lead to Rome? Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do here. And I'd say that it worked out pretty well. I mean, traffic seemed to handle all the new intersections perfectly fine. The only problem was creating some type of main street. I didn't know exactly where to put it, but I figured that anywhere that I put parking spaces in, and when I meant parking spaces, it was gonna be like those little strips, you can see it right there, where I added in white parking marks right here. I think I just had it right there. I really don't know what I was doing in this segment. I think it was like midnight when I was recording this video. I always record these videos at the weirdest times, but I added in these little parking spaces. You can see it right there where it added in things right there, and that was from TWD's Village, the road builder mod, which it's currently in beta, but it's more than fine to use, and it basically just adds in your own way of making roads. And I was like, oh my gosh, small town America, they have these types of roads. And yeah, that was literally what I did. I just added that in. And I also wanted another large scale gas station, but it wasn't going to be one like E-Coil, that gas station that I mentioned in the first episode that was supposed to roll over all the other ones. Yeah, no, I didn't really want to do that. I figured that would be sort of a waste, because it's like, why would E-Coil be the only gas station in the entire county, right? That's when I found the next competitor. I forgot their name because I haven't bothered to check, so I guess during this speed time, this little speed build that I'm doing for y'all, I guess, it'll It'll fix itself. I'll figure out the name as I watch this. But I wanted to make this gas station like as if it's existed for decades, and it's just really old, really run down. It's like, it has decades of just teenagers being idiots with the skid marks everywhere. You can see the loop-de-loops right there, like all the takeovers people have done there. All of it, right? And it's just a small town gas station that you're supposed to pick up your local bacon, egg, and cheese before you go over to the office for your 9 to 5. The whole shebang, right? And then of course when you go and get your coffee here at the gas station, you then see a 16-year-old in a clapped out Honda Civic doing donuts right in front of your car that is currently plugged into a gas pump. And it causes a giant fire and whatever. Yeah, I thought way too much about how exactly like scenarios about this gas station would go, because it's just, gas stations have so many stories. People just think, it's just a place to get gas, and while that's true, they hold so many stories. Like if you went over to the locals in the town of Belfort and you asked them, what's the craziest thing you've seen at this gas station? They'd say, oh boy, get ready, sit down. Like I have cop cars over here inspecting, the graffiti that I placed down there. It's a whole thing. Like this gas station it's either causing a bunch of problems or it is the problem, and a lot of the people in this town, I'd like to say, agree that this gas station is problematic, and it's just a place where you have to get gas quickly and you have to go. It's run down, it's old, and it's like you gotta get out of there. The car wash on the right side of the gas station doesn't even work anymore, like it just doesn't. So it's like, even if you wanted to wash your car, you wanted to do anything else, you can't. You only have to use the gas station. I tried to add in a couple of posters on the windows, but I realized all of them were too big. I'm sure I could go into the resize tool and like go and get that, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't really feel like it, I guess. I was like, I wasn't really feeling it, but I did add in a couple of other things, like this little gas tanker truck right here that was presumably loading up on the gas, and I spent way too much time detailing that area. But I guess that's just what happens when you let me design my own city. I get carried away with the fine details, while I haven't placed a single home, nor have I increased the population since this episode began, even though I told y'all that I would. And this is the part where I did actually start to increase the population, and it happened literally right here. So I wanted to create some sort of small town suburban America, and I did that in the town of Oxbow, but I don't think that I really encapsulated it well enough. It should be only row homes, no apartment buildings at all, unlike in Oxbow where I had full-sized apartment buildings. Small shops, mom and pop shops, or like very tiny retail stores, places like that, like GameStop. Think of GameStop, right? Like you don't expect it to be some Walmart type super mega store, right? No, you don't expect that. You think of it as just a small store that you'd see on your drive into a strip mall or something like that. It's never by itself, and I sort of wanted to show that, that like there are way more stores than you think of here in America that are like that. And it's not always just Walmart, it's not always just giant supermarkets and malls, okay? I know everything's bigger in America, but trust me, things are always smaller in America too, okay? Especially when you go into the 13 colonies, which is like New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, those places, old states, right? You see lots of old shops, and it is insane, and I love it. I love every second of it. It is the highlight of my entire life. Just being on the school bus, just seeing all the small shops, it really is fantastic. And even more so, living in the suburbs. I live in the suburbs, and I'm sure some people are out there saying, well, I love my apartment building in the city and stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, I totally get you for that, right? I'm not gonna judge you, but there's something about the suburbs, man. Like, just making this area in general was so just nostalgic for me. I grew up in a place like this. I don't live there anymore, but oh my gosh, when I lived there, it was just fantastic. Nice people, good neighbors. The only sound that you wake up to in the morning is just the sound of somebody mowing their lawn and being completely inconsiderate of everybody else around them. But there was just some sort of joy from it, some sort of like I guess, like, love for it. I don't enjoy the city. As much as I say to people that I would love to grow up and I'd love to live in the city and I'd love to raise my kids in the city, if I could live in a house, I would. I mean, naturally enough, right? And this place, the town of Belfort, I really, really wanted to show that, especially this area right here, near the riverfront. It's nice, it's beautiful, it's pretty, it's pristine, and it's just hillside residencies that are either super old or super new, and there's like no in between. With these types of suburbs, especially in old American towns, there's never an in between like two different like suburban neighborhoods. Like first you'll see like the ones that were built in the 1700s, and then it immediately jumps up into the ones that were built last year, and they're mega structures. Speaking of mega structures, well, I mean, this isn't really a mega structure, but I noticed that the roads were absolutely abysmal, and this was actually what happened in my last playthrough, before the save data got all corrupted. I did not know at all that, the roads really did affect anything. And I was like, why is everybody getting into a car accident? Last night when I was recording this, I was like, why is everyone getting into a car accident? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's because of this. Yeah, so I decided to, sit down for a second and expand that little area right there with a road service depot. And then here it was, just sit back, relax, listen to the music, and watch the green fill the scene. It is a beautiful sight. I do this with every city that I create. I mean, just look at this. Like, it is absolutely amazing seeing them just go in like ants every single time and just completely fix every single road. It's incredible. Like, look at it. Look at them go. Look at them go. They're like little ants. And it's such an unnecessary joy that I have. But, I mean, nevertheless, now we have highway traffic that's actually moving at the speed of highway speeds, and now I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I also don't have to worry about an ambulance speeding down the highway at 100 miles an hour every time because there was another accident that happened at another intersection that I also poorly built, which I maybe shouldn't have poorly built in the first place, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, everything's built for a reason, and in my case, it's laziness. Oh, speaking of ambulance, yeah, there it is. I sort of wanted to kind of measure, like, how far the distance is, because I noticed that not a lot of people were, like, going to the high school, and that's because in the town of Belfort, it's a little far away from the high school. So I don't know. I'll try and fix that soon. This recording, by the way, was recorded right before I went to school. It was pretty funny because I was like, I need to add some more stuff. And I was like, this river looks disgusting. So I wanted to go in, I wanted to add in some foliage and some trees and like make it look like it's there and not make it look like it was man-made. And it was making me mad. It was making me upset even, just having to see that. And yeah, like I needed to fix it now rather than later. Because I'm saving a lot of the detailing for a very special episode. I don't know. You're probably thinking, oh, it's going to be like an 100 subscriber special, right? You're going to go in and fix everything? No, it's just kind of an episode whenever I feel like doing it. It's really nothing special. It's more or less just, whenever I get bored of adding things to the county, I'll detail stuff. But for now, this is sort of what we're working with right now. Life's busy. Life's busy, but life is fun. And that is a motto that I'm going to live off of for the rest of my life. It's busy, but it's fun. And what's even more fun is creating these suburbs. Again, I love suburban sprawl, not in real life, but in city skylines. There's just some peace to it, just like having areas like this that are just like really nice, like it has the trees, the freshly cut grass, the smell of gasoline in the air because your neighbor can't stop mowing his lawn at 4 a.m. Like I don't think that this would be an HOA tract home types thing where it's like, your roof's painted the wrong color. No, I think it's just a basic suburb where it's like, howdy neighbor, I love the roof. When deep down they hate the roof, and if they did have an HOA, they would totally be complaining to HOA about you. Not that I'm speaking from personal experience. I've never had a moment like that. Luckily, I do not live in any suburbs that have an HOA. because from what I've heard, homeowners associations are abysmal. Yeah, like you'd never catch me. I guess I've been talking for a while now, but I mean, I guess this is better than when I had to talk for 47 minutes straight on my last video, which again, I am very confused on why that did so well. I mean, if somebody could give me an explanation of why my video that took me like a week to edit did well. I don't know. It didn't even take me a week. It was just I was too busy to actually edit, but whatever, it's fine. And now we were actually starting with the actual park area of the suburb that I was creating. So this was, gosh, I mean, I just love this part of the build so much. It was so satisfying to create, and it was so satisfying to make this park area really come to life. I wish the park assets looked like this, like just nice and detailed, like very specific, or like when you create a park, it could be like, how do you want the paths to connect or something like that? And you could like customize it to make it look all nice and prim and proper and stuff like that. Like, oh gosh, I mean, that's just something that I really wish that you could do. But I feel like that's going to happen in an update very, very soon, but I don't know. I never know. You never know about anything. Nothing's ever certain in life, and nothing is ever guaranteed in life, except for death. I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little bit of a pessimist right now. Sorry. I'm not going to be as much of a pessimist now. But anyways, we're going to go into the optimistic side here. This suburb looked freaking incredible. I mean, just look at it. Could you imagine living here? Probably not. I probably couldn't. But I think that it just looks old-timey, It just looks like it was either built during the Cold War era. Like, I have a question actually that y'all can answer. What sucks about this county? What do you want to see changed? And if you have gotten this far into the video, first of all, congratulations for listening to me for 19 minutes straight. I'm really glad that you decided to sit here and do that with me. And also, if you have gotten this far of me yapping, then leave that a comment below. What do you want to see changed? What do you want to see fixed? What do you just want to see from Sonder County? Because by far, I think that there's a lot that I could add, but I want to hear from you guys first. And a big thing that I actually thought of that I feel like my community was probably going to say eventually was like, your county needs jobs. And that was the main reason why I wanted to create this video, was to fix the job and unemployment issue. The biggest thing that I wanted to create first was homes for people to work, because I'm sure that there was going to be a surplus of jobs after the fact. And that was sort of the issue. I had too many jobs. And I didn't have a way to actually funnel them into things. So I had unemployment and employment at the same time. I had unemployment in industrial buildings, and yet I had employment in office and commercial buildings. So what did that tell me? Well, that told me that I needed to change some things. So I decided to create all these suburbs, all these homes, and all these small shops in order to suck in a lot of population towards the county, so then I could funnel like working families into industrial buildings. And I know I sound like that sounds really bad coming out of my mouth right now, but trust me, I'm not trying to be weird about it. I'm just saying that, like, homes and things that houses bring workers, I guess that's just kind of what I was trying to say. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night right now, so it's I've been going at it for a while here. But anyways, I think that was the last area that I expanded for Belford, and that was when I renamed it to be the town of Belford. And you can see I just filled it in with homes, and I just filled it in with just areas, because I knew that, that's something that I would need, because immediately I then went over and I was like, I was checking everything. I checked the roads and whatever. And then I started thinking about the employment. This was actually when I got the video idea, because originally I was just building just to build, and then I was like, what if I built something pretty cool? So I decided to make this. This was a crude oil processing plant, or a fuel plant, I'm pretty sure is what it's called in the game. I wanted to create an area for it, and it was going to be off of Ecoil, which is that gas company that I taught you about. And I wanted to make it right off of the farms. One, because it kind of looks like a granary silo, and two, because it can function as a separate building. So I removed all the smokestacks to make it look like some type of farm building, and yet I still renamed it Ecoil Fuel Production Plant. But it's whatever, it's fine. And then I wanted to create a custom parking lot. I hope that in the near future, the City Skylines devs, or like Colossal Order and, all those people, I really hope that they add in making custom parking lots way easier, because so far this has all have to been done with mods, and it was so bad. Making this parking lot was such a headache, and it took about 10 minutes IRL for me to do it. And which, that might not seem like a lot of time, right, to make something like this, but it was a real big headache, man. I got the inspiration from a City Planner Plays video where he created a sort of regional hospital, if you will, and I looked at it and I was like, I can do that. I can make those custom parking lots, and I did at the end of the day. But man, how did he do it? Do you guys know at all about how he did that? Because I was watching his video while doing this, and I was flipping through it. I was taking notes. I had a notebook out, and I was ready. I was about to go on Reddit and ask people this, and that's how I was getting desperate. This took me forever to do, and I was looking at his video, and he cut out the part where he actually did that. So hey, City Planner Plays, if you see this video, can you please tell me how you did that? How you made this parking lot, because I am at a loss for words, man. This was definitely a lot. This is definitely a lot of effort, but I think that at the end of the day, I think it was definitely well worth it, because the parking lot just fits into the site really, really well. Overall, it just adds in that layer of depth and that layer of, there's 200 people that can work at that fuel plant. So you'd expect there to be parking lots. You'd expect there for employees that work there to be able to get there, right? And I wanted like that to happen. I wanted cars to not have to park on that dingy little parking lot that's inside of the fuel plant, because I don't think that it really encapsulates the true size of these areas. They are massive, they are big, they are not something to be played around with, So it's overall just about, like, when you make buildings like this, you really do want to make sure that you do create parking lots. And I feel like that this is an excellent place to wrap up this video. I know it seems a little bit rushed, and I was sort of saying a million words a minute, and I was probably confusing you guys, but at the end of the day, this video, we did a lot. We added in tons of new population, brand new suburbs. I taught you guys how to actually make a suburb, because it's not really that difficult. You just need to know how to actually place down buildings. And then we finished off the video with the best project ever, which was making a nice fuel plant. And yeah, I appreciate that you guys decided to stick around with me to actually watch this video. And I really appreciate the support on my last video. I'm going to really try to top the quality from now on. I've just been really busy, and I'm really excited to get this video out. So you can tell that I've been just saying everything that's on my mind, everything all at once, just to sort of, get you guys engaged here. But yeah, this was Sonder County. This was episode 5. I'm really glad that you guys decided to join me today. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. City Skylines related. I don't really play any other video games besides this. Until the next time, everybody, my name was Brett. This was Sonder County. I love all of you guys. You guys are going to do great things in life. And peace out. Stay frosty. Stay curious. And as always, I will catch y'all on the flip side.